Hi students, it's Ms.Boley here. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of thumbnail sketches, what they are, and why artists do them. So I guess the main takeaway from this video is that when an artist is going in to create a piece, they don't just go and start creating. They plan out and they're pretty systematic with how they prepare for making their art. So I'm going to show you some of my old sketchbooks. It's a little bit embarrassing, but it shows my process and how I plan and do thumbnail sketching for my artwork. On this page, I know my sketches are quite a lot larger than a thumbnail, but I like to work really big, so that's why my sketchbook is so big. So I was working on some portraits of people, but they were wearing like these masks of different animals. So I had done this sketch here, and I'm making some notes to myself about like what patterns I'm going to include in the background and what color the certain things are going to be, and also about like different methods that I was going to use. And let's see, I ended up changing kind of into a rectangle and putting some notes about like where I'm getting inspiration, because these backgrounds I ended up filling up with pattern. I unfortunately don't have very good pictures of the final paintings, but I ended up only making 2 final paintings. So I'm switching up the different kind of body positioning and outfits and the different animals and the way that I'm doing kind of the mask as I come up with different ideas. And there we go. So that's kind of one example of how thumbnail sketching can go. All right, and on this page, I was also continuing on with this whole idea with animals. And this is a plan for a print. So it's not a painting, but I have kind of like my idea, and then I have different thumbnails for like my different steps. So thumbnails don't always have to be about composition. And they just, sometimes they help me just like get my ideas out. So I found a different sketchbook. And so for right here, I was doing some plans for an abstract painting, which I do have great pictures of, and I will include them in the video. So that is the finished product, and these are all of my different thumbnails. So basically I had this list of colors that I wanted to include, and I had some ideas. It was going to be abstract, so it was going to have just shapes and colors. And then I kind of rearranged those and had some different ideas. And I knew that my paintings were going to both be rectangles, and they were going to be in portrait orientation. So that's why I drew my rectangles all in the same orientation. And here is another example. So I was going to be painting, I actually didn't end up painting this, but I was going to be painting like 3 panels with a big kind of landscape. I wanted to do like a desert landscape type thing. And so these were some of my ideas, even though these are both kind of exactly the same. So you want to try to avoid, when you're doing thumbnail sketching, just creating exactly the same composition, just drawn slightly differently. I think I moved the horizon line maybe slightly up and moved the sun slightly over. So this would be something to maybe avoid as you're creating your thumbnail sketches.